Phantom's Promise. In the heart of a mist-shrouded forest, where the moon's glow barely pierced the thick canopy, there stood a forgotten manor known as Shadow Grove. Its time-worn stones seemed to sigh with the weight of centuries, and the once majestic windows gazed out like empty eye sockets, haunted by the passage of time. The air around it was thick with the scent of damp earth and the whispers of forgotten secrets. Shadow Grove was a place of dark legend, whispered about in hushed tones by the villagers of the nearby hamlet. The manor was said to be cursed, its halls echoing with the footsteps of ghosts and the wails of long-departed souls. Among its tragic tales, none were as haunting as that of the Phantom's Promise. Generations ago, Shadow Grove was the home of a noble family, the Harringtons, known for their opulence and grandeur. Lord Harrington was said to have been an eccentric recluse, dabbling in the arcane and the forbidden. It was rumored that he had made a pact with a malevolent spirit in exchange for unimaginable power. As the years passed, the Harringtons' wealth dwindled, and the once lavish manor fell into disrepair. The villagers spoke of eerie lights flickering in the windows and strange cries echoing through the night. It was on one fateful night, under the pale glow of the full moon, that tragedy befell Shadow Grove. A masked ball was held in the manor's grand hall, the air heavy with the scent of wilting roses and the distant strains of a melancholy waltz. Lord Harrington, his face hidden behind a porcelain mask, moved through the crowd with an air of desperation. He sought a way to break the pact that bound him to the malevolent spirit. As the clock struck midnight, Lord Harrington stood before a darkened mirror, the reflection of his masked face twisted with anguish. With a desperate plea, he called out to the spirit, begging for release from their unholy contract. In that moment, the room seemed to tremble, and a ghostly figure materialized before him, the Phantom. The Phantom's form was shrouded in tattered robes, and its eyes gleamed with an otherworldly light. It spoke with a voice that seemed to echo from the depths of the abyss, promising Lord Harrington a chance at redemption. The Phantom offered a choice: surrender his own soul to the abyss in exchange for release from the pact, or doom his descendants to an eternity of servitude. With a heavy heart, Lord Harrington made his choice. He vowed to sacrifice his own soul. In a blinding flash of light, Lord Harrington and the Phantom were consumed by the abyss, leaving behind an empty, echoing manor. From that night on, Shadow Grove became a place of dread, its halls haunted by the echoes of Lord Harrington's desperate choice. The manor's windows glowed with an eerie light, and the villagers could hear mournful cries carried on the wind. And the legend of Shadow Grove and the Phantom's Promise faded into obscurity. The manor became a place of cautionary tales. It was in this atmosphere of trepidation that a determined historian named Evelyn arrived in the nearby village. She had heard whispers of Shadow Grove and the fabled Phantom's Promise, but she possessed a determination that eclipsed her fear. Armed with a lantern and a heart unyielding, she set out for the Forsaken Manor, determined to uncover the truth. As Evelyn approached Shadow Grove, the air grew colder. The trees seemed to lean away, as if recoiling from the encroaching darkness. Finally, she stood before the manor, its silhouette looming like a specter against the night sky. With a steadying breath, Evelyn pushed open the creaking doors and stepped inside. The air was thick with the scent of damp decay, and the silence seemed to press in on her. She navigated the winding halls, her lantern casting long, dancing shadows on the cracked floor. In the heart of the manor, Evelyn discovered a hidden chamber, its entrance concealed by a faded tapestry. Inside, she found a dusty journal, its pages filled with cryptic writings and faded ink. It spoke of the Phantom's Promise and the desperate choice Lord Harrington had made. As Evelyn pored over the journal, she uncovered the dark rituals Lord Harrington had performed, seeking to break free from the malevolent spirit's grasp. It spoke of a ritual that could potentially sever the ties to the abyss. But it came at a grave cost. With newfound knowledge, Evelyn returned to the main chamber, her heart pounding in anticipation. She laid out the grim choice before her performed the ritual and face the unknown, or leave Shadowgrove to its haunted fate. Evelyn chose to confront the darkness, knowing that some mysteries were worth unraveling, even at the risk of confronting the supernatural. She gathered the necessary ingredients and returned to the hidden chamber, the air heavy with anticipation. With trembling hands, she began the incantation, her voice blending with the echoes of the past. The runes seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, and the air grew thick with a palpable presence. The shadows danced on the walls, and the lantern's flame flickered as if in response to the ethereal forces at play. As the ritual reached its climax, a blinding light erupted from the chamber, illuminating the room in an ethereal glow. The air grew heavy with an otherworldly energy, and a spectral presence enveloped her. In that moment, the Phantom and Lord Harrington materialized. Before Evelyn, their faces etched with sorrow and longing. They spoke in hushed, melancholy tones, revealing the depths of their regret and the weight of their choices. With a final, desperate incantation, Evelyn completed the ritual. The room fell silent, the air heavy with stillness. The Phantom and Lord Harrington ascended into the unknown, leaving behind a newfound peace. As Evelyn emerged from Shadowgrove, the ruins seemed to sigh in relief, the air growing lighter. The legend of Shadowgrove would forever be etched in the village's history. But it was no longer a tale of despair. Evelyn left the village knowing that some mysteries were meant to be unraveled, even at the risk of confronting the malevolent unknown. Now stood as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a place where the echoes of the past had finally found their peace.